Hi guys, it's Matt here from Rock and Roll Dance Wodonga, and I have Manny with me here, one of the key organisers for the Tallangatta Rock and Roll Festival. We've got a few questions for him here that might interest you in preparation for this weekend's big festival. So the first one is, what made you want to run a 1950s rock and roll festival?
Well, there's always been an event in Tallangatta in the last weekend of October. It was an arts festival, but for whatever reason that sort of petered out a little bit. And a lady that you know, Cap Cavanagh, thought, why not the 50s Festival? Because that's the Tallangatta was moved in the 1950s. It also coincides with the early makings of rock and roll, so it all seemed to fit together. So that's how the 50s Festival came about.
Yeah, cool. All right. Well, what is it that you love most about the 1950s lifestyle?
Okay, well, 1950s, nice and laid back. Obviously, a lot different to now. None of the gadgets and the things that make life a lot easier. A lot more interaction with people. Hence probably rock and roll and that sort of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I love that as well about it all. So, with terms of this weekend, what would you say the key highlights are for the festival?
Okay, so from a rock and roll point of view, obviously the Saturday night dance is a highlight, but Sunday is the main day.
Yep.
For those that don't know, it's an open air stage with Dean Vegas as the main performer. So Dean is a Elvis tribute artist, which is, I guess, quite appropriate in this year, which is the 40th year after Elvis's death. So
Yeah, absolutely.
And Dean has been to USA quite a few times, and he sort of lives and breathes the Elvis, so he'll certainly be a highlight.
Yeah, no worries. That sounds like a great time. So with regards to the Saturday night dance, what band did you pick and why did you pick them?
Okay, so it's the Rockin Daddys, and we did do a bit of research. Went through some of the rock and roll magazines, asked a few people that wrote into rock and roll, and yeah, the answer is always, well, we love listening to the music, but much more than that, we love dancing to it. So they play perfect sort of music for us. Yep. So that's why it's them. Yeah.
Yep. Saturday night dance, pick for the dancers.
Yeah.
All right, and I suppose every year you probably change over different supporters and stuff like that. Who would you say your biggest supporters and sponsors of this year's festival are?
Okay, so WAW has been on board for a couple of years. They're our major naming rights sponsor, and they do a great job for us. Tallangatta Shire, whilst they don't contribute financially, they do a power of work behind the scenes to make sure that it all happens. Of the others, Victoria Hotel, our normal meeting spot for Rotary, they do a great job, and not only with finances, but also with the sound.
Busy man.
Sorry.
No
also,
worries. No, that's fine.
Rod provides the sound for both days, which is great.
Oh, excellent.
Fantastic.
Cool. Well, it's be near impossible to do this on your own. So
That's right.
Without the help of everyone, this kind of thing wouldn't happen. So
That's right. Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, on that note, how do you go about getting your volunteers? How do you get people to help out?
Okay, so it's all it's a Rotary-driven function. That's what my involvement is. So we've got a core of volunteers there.
Yeah.
But there's also a core of people who we rope in for the day. And look, most people are more than happy to help. You give them a job, they'll do it. That's basically
Cool.
how it works out.
Yeah, for the community, run by the community. I like that.
Yeah.
All right. So the festival's been going for a little while now. How long do you reckon? Would you say it's been running for?
Okay, so 1999 was the first incarnation as the Tallangatta Fifties Festival. So this is the 18th year.
Yeah. Wow. That's a long time. Yeah. I think I was 10 when
Okay.
I started. All right. Cool. Now, in your first year in 1999, you probably learned a lot. There was probably a lot of stumbling blocks and different things like that. But what can you tell me about that first year and what you learned? How'd that go down?
Okay, well, the first year obviously wasn't in my time, but I have done a little bit of research, and it must have been a sort of major step, because it's, as you would appreciate, there's a fair budget that has to be committed up front, and hopefully you get back. At that particular time, Johnny Young was starting to do a rebirth tour, so to speak, and he was approached and said, "Yeah, I'd love to do it," and he was great. He just gave it the sort of kick off that it needed to give it a bit of a boost the coming year. So
Yeah,
that's
perfect.
been that's sort of gave it the boost for years to come.
Yeah, awesome. That's great to hear. All right. Well, with all that in mind, you've probably learned a lot along the way. Are there any tips or anything that you'd give to anyone out there trying to start their own festival?
Look, I think it. Be true to what the festival's about. I guess don't be seduced by changes for the sake of change. With ours, it's a 50s festival, so that's been the predominant focus all the way along. So I think that's fair. I mean, it doesn't mean that you don't introduce different things, but basically, be true to what the festival's about.
Yeah, absolutely. So don't branch out too much into tangent kind of things. Just keep it focused on the 50s, and stay true to it. No, that makes perfect sense. All right. Well, do you have a vision for the future on anything that is kind of with that same focus and feel? But
I guess so. I think along the same lines. It's certainly rock and roll and music and 50s are the main focus. But there's probably opportunities for other 50s related items to be introduced, like memorabilia and things down that line, which we probably haven't explored to the nth degree. But I think there's plenty of opportunities there to introduce things that are true to the theme.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to see that myself. Well, this interview is pretty much for the Rock and Roll Organised dance crew. Is there anything that you want to say to them?
Sure. We'd love to see as many out there as possible. It looks like being a warm weekend, an exceptionally warm weekend with not much mention of rain, so that's we're really pleased about that. But so two specific rock and roll events for the people who have got that at their in their heart. Saturday night with the Rockin Daddys, $20 get you in, and on the Sunday, again, open air stage, rock and roll dance floor in front of the stage, so they can rock to their heart's content for as long as they like. Yeah,
sounds good to me.
Yeah.
So where can people go to find out more information?
Okay, so the website Tallangatta50s.com is on Facebook as well, so that should have the information that most people need to see.
Yeah, perfect. Oh, well, thank you very much for your time, Manny.
My pleasure.
I look forward to seeing this weekend, and thanks a lot, guys. We'll see you there on the weekend.